What are you looking at?
It's a magazine.
The Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
No, a bunch of gym equipment.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm excited to talk to you because I heard that you. I mean, I know your story and everything a little bit, but I know that you're the longest employee and you've been here in the
Yeah,
trenches for the longest time.
long time. Yeah, I've been here since about. Oh, gee. So I started when we were in our first shop, just when I was in middle school, helping clean hardware around the first shop, and then yeah, as soon as I got out of high school, it was just straight to full time.
That's
And
awesome, man. Well, first, let's start off. Just give me your name, your age, and what you do at the shop and how you're related to the shop.
yeah, so my name is Brian Eldredge. I am, I think 29. I just had a birthday, so I had to think about it for a second. Been here since probably 2000, full time since 2007. So, and then part time before that for about 5 or 6 years. So probably about, I would say 12 years or so total. Maybe a little, 12, about 10 years full time, and then, about 15. Um, I pretty much do like whatever needs to be done. I do. I mean, I've been going on salvage jobs since middle school, and I do all the crating. I do all the restoration work that needs to be done. I help customers. I set up, anything that needs to be built here. I build it. Um, Honestly, pretty much everything that everybody else probably said that they do, besides the computer work that she does for the website, I pretty much do.
So, what are you in relation to the company? Like,
Dawn's my mother.
all right. So, put that in a sentence for me. So, like,
All right.
like here at Nor'easter, Donna's my mother. I've been here. I'm the longest employee. I've been here.
Yeah.
15
Okay.
years. We'll say.
All right. Yeah. So I've been working here at Nor'east for about 15 years. My relationship, Dawn is my mother, and yeah. Wait, what did you want me to say? I'm sorry.
I would
have
say
a
no,
cold.
no, no, no. You're
I
fine,
have a
man.
cold.
Listen, I'll get you through this. It's easy as hell. The reason I sometimes so I ask you to rephrase it is because we take my voice and we eliminate it. So
Yeah. That's what she was saying. You gotta chop it all up and make it seem like you're not even there.
yeah, so chop it up makes it seem not there. So if I say like, hey, stop, say it, start with this. So what I was gonna have you say is just like I'm Brian. I am Donna's son. I'm the longest employee here. I've been here for 15 years.
Yeah. So my name's Brian. I've been here for about 15 years. Donna is my mother, and I do pretty much everything day-to-day operations that needs to be done, from restoration to salvage to customer service, all the above.
So you must have some stories from just the business side of it. Like you've seen the company evolve, like, and you've been a part. It seems like you've been in the trenches and in the process.
For sure, yeah. I've been, like I said, here for a long time. So I went through. We had a large fire, so I went through that, helped rebuild. Um, I mean, I can't think of any stories off the top of my head
That's
to
fine.
tell you, but
That's fine. Yeah. So what is like what's the work environment like? If I was to go and I was to be in your shop, can you tell me like what are people's personalities like? Like what's your mom's personality like? What's John's personality like? How does the dynamic work in the shop and how does the business kind of like operate?
um, honestly, it flows really well. Like me and John and Colton do a lot of pretty much all the salvage. It's usually me and Colton. They go out to the jobs. Honestly, it's really pretty laid back. There's not a whole lot of there's no like confrontation or anything. Like I have a great relationship with John and Donna, and Colton is dating my sister's sister. So I mean, honestly, we're all just friends. It's a great work environment. I mean, we work hard. It's long hours, but we're all friends. We all have a great dynamic with each other. We all have to socialize, and honestly, it's great. It's great.
I didn't realize that Colton said he moved out there for his girlfriend, but I didn't realize the girlfriend was your sister.
Yeah, stepsister, but sister. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, that's a big move.
I know. Yeah, all the way from California.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I grew up in Michigan, and I moved to California, so I get it. But it's amazing. And my wife grew up in Worcester.
Or
Yeah,
what's the?
Worcester. Yeah, she's a masshole through and through, and she knows I say that. So, uh,
Me too.
uh, yeah. In fact, such a masshole that last night I was like literally just talking about Tom Brady, and she was like, "I just don't get why you're giving him shit," and I'm like, "I'm not giving him shit. He re-
He's the,
he like
he's
I'm
the
like."
goat, man. He's the goat, greatest.
I was
People hate on him because he's so good.
I wasn't even hating. All I was saying was like Tom Brady has his own line of Aston Martins. Tom Brady, I said something that she took offense to, and that was I said, listen, Tom Brady has his own line of bugs with fur in them, and she was
That's
like,
right.
why are you hating on him? I'm like, I'm not hating on him. um. So. Your job, your business, like historically, there's so much historical value on the East Coast where you work and where you grow up. That's so different from anywhere in the United States. Like
Totally.
what makes what you guys find special that people will gravitate to? Like what is it about your business that separates you from other parts of the world?
Well, obviously we're different because of the age of all the materials and all the houses that we go into nowadays are anywhere from 1700 to 1940, and so it's all incredibly really nice mansions and older homes and really like that well the main thing is like there's only like a couple of us in New England, so it's pretty unique, you know. So it's really not like how the fuck do I say this? Honestly, I don't know, man. It's just different. It's hard to explain, you know. It's yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, no.
I'm sorry. I'm horrible at this stuff,
No,
man.
you're
So
fine, man. I'll get you through. Yeah. So what? You know, there aren't many other businesses that do this. Do you guys? I mean, who's your direct competitors? Who else does this stuff in New England? Like, how does it work?
there's only about I think only about 4 or 5. So we all have to bid against each other on these jobs, and we just get emailed and contacted from demolition contractors, homeowners, and we have to bid to find out. You know, we have to go in, we have to look at the job, and then we got to give them a number on what we're willing to pay for the job. So, but we don't know anybody else's bids, so we have to go and take a look at it, add up how much each piece is going to be, and then give them the quote. And then if we get it, great. We don't, it happens. But like I said, we're only about 1 of 5 or 6 in New England that really at this level that do what we do, and so we're very well established. Been here a long time. We know what we're doing, and we're very good at what we do for sure.
What does it take, like in your expertise, that when you go into a place, what is it that you're looking for? Like, what helps you be good at your job?
It's just experience, you know. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. So John is the one that goes into these houses and he'll look at what he wants, and then I come in and I'm the one who removes everything. So he's the one that will initially look at it. But then what makes me so good at it is just experience. You know, I know how certain things are put together. I know how, like, let's say a big, large built-in cabinet, I have to know how to take it apart safely without damaging it. And that just comes with experience. Time. Just time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
yeah,
passion. It's fun. It is fun. Yeah. What we do is fun. But it's different. But it can be very stressful.
yeah. Because I mean, you're dealing with pieces like how old are the pieces that you're dealing with?
Anywhere from 1940 to about 1700.
All right, put that in a sentence for me. Like the pieces that I deal with, it's stressful because the pieces I deal with could be from like 1940 to 1700.
Yeah, so it can be extremely stressful removing some of the antiques that we deal with because everything is from 1700 to about 1940, and they're very fragile, they're very dry when it comes to the wooden pieces, so everything has a tendency to break, so it can be extremely stressful. to remove it without breaking it and damaging it and getting it back here safely.
What's the what do you think is probably the toughest thing that you've had to get out to you, that you've had to recover, that you were like, shit, if this doesn't, like, this is old, this is whatever, like.
I hate built-in cabinets. Hate built-in cabinets. There's nothing to them. So they end up coming out in about 400 pieces. They're so fragile. It can be a nightmare. But yeah, I would say my least favorite and most difficult one would have to be built-in cabinets. And anything heavy. I don't like heavy. My back has taken a lot of abuse over the years.
What's in terms of working with family and and working this, what's the best part about the job? Like, what's the best part about working with family? And then what's the worst part? Like, you guys spend a lot of hours together.
I would say the best part is just being so close to everybody and being honest with each other and telling each other how we feel. And I would say the worst part is about the same. Sometimes we're a little bit too honest with each other. But
I mean, that seems like that's kind of a New England trait. That's the way my wife's family operates, is like, listen, I'm going to give you honesty. It's either going to go one of two ways. You're either going to receive it well or you're not. And if you don't, sorry. That's pretty much the way my mother-in-law operates.
Yeah, that's how we do it too.
Is that a general New England thing? Is that like, does that happen in business? Does that happen when you go outside of work?
I don't think so. Honestly, that's a strange question, because it's just the way we all grew up. I mean, we're all the way I grew up. I've been here, like I said, I've been working here since I was probably 13 or 14. So obviously I've known my mother forever, but John, I've known him since as long as I can remember. So it's easy to talk to him and actually tell him how I really feel about certain things around the shop. Like, let's say I don't want to, let's say it's not worth taking an item, but he wants it. It's easy to actually tell him, like, look, it's not worth it. So we don't waste our time. Sometimes we don't agree. There's the eye to eye, but for the most part, we do.
Yeah, you guys have been working together long enough that there's
long time. Yeah, very long time.
And then I guess kind of lastly, a day in the life at the shop. Whatever, if you could go down the line, you could tell me what people like, what their personalities are like. Like, who's the hard nose, who's the goof, who's the like, what makes the job fun. Who kind of takes what roles in the shop, and where do you fall in?
Well, like I said, my role, like I said, I pretty much have to do anything that needs to be done. I have to do it. But the days are all different. One day we're going to be out salvaging, and the other day I'm going to be here dealing with really frustrating, annoying customers, and the next day I'm going to be building a custom cabinet or restoring a cabinet for somebody, or crating. Like, we ship all over the country, so my day-to-day operations could be vastly different throughout the week. But yeah, Donna hangs out here. She does all the customer service and the internet-based operations, the emails. John does a lot of the scouting for us, and not so much the salvage. He'll do salvage jobs nowadays, but not so much. Not as much as he used to. And me and Colton pretty much do all of the salvage, and yeah, it's tough now because we're a little on the smaller side than we used to be, but we're hiring more people, so it's going to be more interesting as the time goes by. Frankie does all of our picking for us. He'll go out around New England and scout and interact with all the characters that he comes across.
Who's the most fun at the job?
I would say the most fun. Everybody's different, but I would say, me and Colton pretty much spend a lot of time together outside of work too, so I guess me and him have the most fun together, because we hang out a lot outside of work as well, so we have a lot to talk about. We're always together. So
So you got your work thing, and then you guys go out. You go out for drinks after. Is that how it goes? And then
yeah, do
whatever.
whatever. Yeah, great friends. So I would say I had the most fun with Colton. Um, on a day-to-day basis, but my relationship with everybody's slightly different. So it's hard to say which one. If you ask me who I goof around with the most, I would say Colton. Mine and John and Donna's relationship's a little more serious, but we still have fun.
What's the challenges of working in New England? Like there's a big
Cold.
yeah. Tell me about that's what I want. That's what I wanted to get to. It's like there's a lot of places all over the country that like don't have to deal what you deal with. Like when it comes to snow, when it comes to like just shoveling to get out. Like a day might be scrapped because you can't even open the doors on your car or whatever. So bring it through a sentence, like the challenges of having a business of working for a business in New England.
Yeah, definitely one of the most difficult factors in what we do is the climate and the weather, because half the year it's a foot and a half of snow on the ground, and the other half it's 110 degrees out. So it fluctuates a lot, and that can be really challenging, especially when a lot of our materials outside and what our salvage jobs, the houses usually never have electricity in it, so it's very cold or very hot.
Yeah. So wait. So most of the places that you are in are like you're just going it.
A vast majority of them do not have electricity in it, so we're usually running generators and and just a lot of clothes to stay warm.
Oh, I mean, I can only imagine the days that I've been there in blizzards. In Michigan, I grew up in the snow, and just
Yeah.
like walking out and there's 5 feet of snow, and you're like, well, shit, how are we gonna do it?
Yeah, when there's 5 feet of snow on the ground and we have to go, pull up flooring and for the next 8 hours in 10-degree weather, it can be really difficult, frustrating.
Oh, I'm sure. Like you can't feel your fingers. Everything aches. You're just like, how are we gonna get in this? Well, awesome, man, dude. Great to talk to you. I appreciate you taking the time. And
Great to talk to you as well, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
we're all good. We'll take this and we'll cut it down, and we'll go from there.
Sorry, if I wasn't as much help as you were expecting.
No, man, you're great. We got. I mean, you elaborated. You're the longest employee. We got exactly what we needed. So we'll go from there.
Definitely a fun place, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right,
Cool.
thanks, man. Good to talk to you.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy.